My tamariki iwa, my kids are my life. I'm proud of my tamariki. You know, they are everything to me. I wouldn't be me without them. Oh, sorry. Let me introduce myself. I'm getting better at that. Introducing myself to people. Kia ora, my name is Helen Rakana. I wasn't expecting this. Where should I start? Oh well, I entered the planet 26th of July 1972. My adopted name is Helen Rakana, born as baby Rapana. I'm the youngest of my blood siblings, the Rapanas. I'm number 12, but then there's my ghost sister who's actually the youngest, number 13. Her name's Donna Marie. I called her my ghost sister because I was Googling my other sister, Donna Marie. She's number 8 out of us kids. And I was Googling her because, well, she got killed when she was about 4. Oh, I don't know who had her, but she was waiting for them at the pub, in the car. Got sick of waiting and went across the road and got hit by a car. Yeah, and I was looking for her death certificate and I typed in Donna Marie and this other Donna Marie popped up. And there was this picture of her as a baby with our birth mother, and I was like, who is this? So I did my research because I'm good at that. And yeah, she lives down in Dunedin. She was adopted out to a real different family, even talks different to me. Well, my birth mother had her to a man that she left my father for and just adopted her out. But named her Donna Marie after my sister that had been killed. But, you know, we didn't know about her. None of us did. We had no idea. She had no idea she had any siblings or anything. Thought her mum and dad were dead. So yeah, that's my ghost sister. And then I got my adopted sister. Well, the way I got my adopted sister was when I was 4, because it was all little boys I used to hang around with that. And the next door neighbours, they had a little baby girl. And so I went home to my mum and I said to her, I want one of those. And they were like, one of what? And I was like, one of those. But we already had a dog and he was my companion. But, you know, I wanted a sister. So it just so happened that at that time, another auntie was pregnant, and back in the day, 17 was too young to have a baby. So my adopted mum made arrangements, and just like she'd come and wait for me to be born, she went and waited for my new little sister to be born, and then brought her home. I thought I was in Barbie heaven. Mum bringing back this little baby and a little frilly blanket and me wanting to play with her. You know, Mum's back would be turned for 1 minute and I'd have her in the box with the rest of my toys. It's little memories like that. You know, not being able to wait for her to grow up, but the sibling rivalry, eh? And then she would say, well, you're stuck with me for life now. But yeah, you know, we're big now. I'm 41, she's 37. And you know, it's funny because she was the oldest of her birth family and I was the youngest of my birth family. So in our adopted family, the tables have changed. But, you know, there's no one between us, so Mum would always say that we were both the queens. You know, I'm proud of the way I've been raised. You know, the morals my parents installed in me, my adopted mum and dad. I'm proud of my heritage, proud of my mana. Proud that I grew up and got to smell the roses, as they say. You know, and I'm proud that I've taken my life and my kids' lives into my own hands. You know, I just need to mould things the right way, you know, because I would never be like my birth mother. No. You know, she drank through all of our pregnancies. We were born with alcohol in our blood. And it's had an impact on this generation because we're all drinkers, but not like her. You know, and for me now, it's boring. You know, just sitting in the backyard all day, drinking, chucking the empties over the back fence, the neighbours chuck dog poo back at us. No, I'd rather be doing this, you know. I say to them, I've got places to be, and I try to, for my kids. But yeah, you know, it's lonely sometimes when you can't see your friends because all they want to do is get a box. but I don't want to get a box every morning. No. I don't want to hang out with those plastic friends only interested in one thing. You know, my birth mother, apparently, she tried to jump off the harbour bridge when she was drunk. You know, it was about a month before I was born, and my uncles went to me, "Oh, you might want to look up in the archives. You might be in there." And I went, "Well, why is that?" And they said, "Oh, well, she was drunk. She jumped out of the car while we were going across the harbour bridge, and she was trying to jump off the bridge because, you know, basically she was just fed up with it all, with me and her puku." And, you know, but my uncles were drunk too, so they pretty much just jumped out of the car and grabbed her, and she was struggling, and they looked at her and just punched her in the face and knocked her out and just chucked her back in the car. But, you know, they checked that she was still breathing by putting their hand under her nose, and she was. So they took her home, told my dad what she did. Yeah, she started hitting the bottle probably after maybe the first, second, or third child. I'm not too sure. But I think she was trying to tell us that she got settled down too early. You know, maybe she wanted a brighter life. She wasn't a drinker when she got married, my real mother. Nah, the Welshers weren't born into drinking, eh? And I asked her, you know, if you've been planning on looking after us, how come you had us all? She tried to joke with me. She was like, well, in those days, there was no TV, there was no Sky, there was no VCR, you know, we didn't have WINS or ACC. And I said to her, yeah, but they had SIFs. You know, because there's been cases on our family, oh, they've got SIFs records like this big going back to the 60s and 70s. Oh, I know of this one incident. My sister, who's a few years older than me, well, she was left on the back step one day, no clothes on. She was 2 years old at the time, no, nothing to eat. No clothes on, all by herself. She'd locked up the house and apparently she'd gone out gambling and thought, oh, you just go over to the next door neighbours. But she didn't even ask the next door neighbours. You know, nobody knew that my sister was out there all day, and it's lucky she didn't run out onto the road. A little baby, you know, wandering around by herself all day. And the neighbours, they would have grabbed her, but they were at work or something, and my uncles came home and they were like, oh. But being men, they didn't want to pick her up because she had no clothes on. And then the next door neighbours came home and my uncles were like, that little girl's been out there all day. She's been curled up in a little ball on the back step. So the neighbours came and got her. You know, who leaves a little 2-year-old out? A lot of us got a lot of hate for our birth mother. And the older ones have more than me because I got adopted out, and you know, my adopted mum was gracious. But when my real mum died, it's the saddest funeral I've ever been to. I had to make myself yawn to make myself look like I was crying, but at least I was making an effort. You know, there was nobody crying at Mum's tangi, and I was like, this is terrible. Our mum's dead. There's one good thing she did do. She brought us all into the world. And then they were just like, nah, she shouldn't have brought us into the world. But I don't believe in people or situations being written off as a lost cause. Because I believe in my kids. And my kids are my light. I have 7 kids. I lost 2 souls, whom I believe my Creator had a greater plan for, so I like to think that they're our guardian angels. But you know, when I'm alone, I worry. The thought of losing my children to crime and negativity, you know, it hurts me, it frustrates me. My young boy, he's only 12, he says he's going to the library, but I know he's not. He's going to see his friends, these older boys, you know, they're using him because they know that if he gets caught, the cops will just bring him back to his mum. He can't go to the cells, and I tell him, please, son, you don't want to be a t-shirt, because you know they get the t-shirts printed up for the funerals, but that's it. You know, someone gets killed, and then you're gone. It's just a face and a date on a t-shirt. And his good friends, they will tell him, stay out of trouble, G, because then the cops will stop coming and there will be no tips and you won't have to say goodbye to your family. And I tell them, son, do you know that if you keep turning up here with the cops, I'm going to get investigated by SIFs? And now, sure enough, I'm under investigation. And they threaten to take all of my babies off me. And I tell him, do you want your little sisters put in a home with people they don't know, where anything can happen? Because he knows what goes on in some of those homes. Now, I know what happened to my siblings in some of those homes. And it's bad. And he understands that. But then Facebook goes off, or his phone, where you at, G, where you at? And he's out the door. And there's nothing I can do. I can't pull him by the ear, I can't smack him, that's illegal. That there are 2 houses he goes to. I know one of them's a gang house and the other one is, I don't, they've got about 6 kids of their own. They might be the grandparents or something. And they let all these other kids go there and crash. And I say to my son, why don't you come home and sleep in your own bed? And he just shuts off. Those people, they get the kids out there to do their jobs for them. How else would they be able to feed them? And why else would they want them there? The boys go out stealing food to feed the house and doing jobs on other places, and I hate it. But I can't go down there. I've been warned that I'll get hurt, But the neighbourhood kids, they go, oh no, we know that house, we'll go down there, we'll tell him. And I've told him, go home to your mum, G, she's crying. And these kids, I call them my guardian angels, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. And I will go out and they'll find William and they'll bring him home. The SIFs, the cops, they're coming to you and they're telling you about stuff that has already happened. But when I can't find him, when I'm thinking, where is my baby? Where is he? The older boys, they hide him, move him from house to house because they know that if he stays, he can do their jobs for them. And if he gets caught, slap on the wrist. They brainwash him, make him think that it's bad to have a family that cares about you. No, I just want them out of my son's life. I want to change his opportunities and his options. I know I need to change my lifestyle. No one's perfect. We're all human. But I need to change the pathways that I've made in life. Not all of it, just part of it. I've always been aware of this, but been subjected to much put downs and negativity, and it pretty much turns into a nasty, potent cocktail which just leads to low self-esteem. One day I hope to find a career, something I will wake up to each day and go out working. Because I want to get out of the system. I'm not trying to get a free handout for my kids' benefit. Like people saying I should spread the kids around, but it's just so that they can get the money. But that's the kids' money. And I know I get money because of my kids. But I say to them, I need some stability for you fellas. And a regular income that doesn't include the benefit. And I said, I want to get out of the system so that I don't have to be investigated all the time. That I don't have to be looked down on either. It's independence. That's what I'm trying to teach them. A career that's based around my kids. I'll get there sooner or later. And I want my family complete and together. I love how my timing is terrible, but I mean well. And when my family are together, when this happens, I don't want to stop there. No. When my family unit is a whole, I'd like to go on and help other people reach their full potential. Because I'm proud of who I've become. And ironically, had to go through the hard way to get here. But, I'm blabbering on it. Alright. I'm going to stop there. So, now you know about me. Well, about some of me. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for listening.